Today's episode of the More You Know podcast is brought to you by CrowdQuestion, a brand new social communication platform focused on connecting crowds to bring everyone closer to their community, as well as enhancing any occasion. Rather than being a social media platform focused on content and advertising, they're focused on communication and connection. Learn more about the platform and download the app free at crowdquestion.com. Today's episode of the More You Know podcast features Travis Huff, who's a social media consultant and host of the Be Real show, as well as Max McCoy, who's a freelance filmmaker and host of the Looking Up podcast. And lastly, Ryan White, who's a 7-figure digital entrepreneur, investor, influencer, press contributor, and speaker. I asked each of them what advice they have for creating great content. Enjoy the episode.
I'm just trying to make it all make sense.
The More You Know podcast.
Creating great content. You know, you can do a lot of different things on social or on digital, etc. And obviously you want to have content that looks good. But we found over like 10 plus years now of doing this is that it doesn't matter exactly the quality of the content. It's more about the goal of the content. So the areas, folks, that work for sure right now, anytime you need it, is this: funny. So funny memes. Find a funny meme about your industry and share it every single week. Funny Friday, funny Sunday, funny Wednesday, funny Tuesday. It doesn't matter what day. Make it one day a week to start. See what happens. See if that is engaged with, and see if you can go find more memes like that to talk about and share with your audience. You'll see most of the time that these are your most shared, most commented, most engaged posts of the week, of the year, etc. And you can thank your boy T Huff for that later. Second is emotional or motivational. I think the motivational or emotional content works well. Telling a story about the emotions of your business, about what you're going through, the challenges, the struggles, all those types of things. They all can be, at the end of the day, we're all human. And so they can connect really well. They're not going to do quite as good as funny. They're not going to do quite as good as, a funny meme. But they will motivate people, and people, when they see your page, they'll now know, oh, you know what, T-Huff, or, whatever the brand is, they're happy, they're motivating, they're funny, they're light, and they're emotional, because we all are laughing. We all have fun. We all want to be inspired. Maybe we all also want to cry a little bit or feel that emotion. So the truth is, it's a matter about how you do it. I'm giving you 2 guaranteed ways to get engagement. Funny first. Second is come up with an emotional or a motivational quote, meme, story, etc. and share those every week. Be consistent. Don't do it once. Do it every week. That's the most important thing. And then also, what is some of the best piece of social media marketing advice is this: don't take this too seriously, folks. Don't think that everything needs to look completely on brand, perfect, out of the gate. If you want engagement, I can tell you something right now, even beyond the one that we just gave you. If you want engagement beyond funny, beyond emotional or motivational, have a contest. It's real easy. Have a contest. Have some reason why people are going to engage with your posts. That's it. It could be the number game. I think one of the best games is the number game. I'm guessing of a number between 1 and 1,000. You are the brand, and the right guess wins X price. It's that simple. It's advice. The reason why I give it to you is because if you're not doing contests every week on your page, or at least every month, people are not seeing your posts. The more times people are less likely to see your posts. The more posts you put out and someone doesn't click on it, like it, comment, etc., the less likely they are to see your next post. It's all based on the stuff that you're engaging with is what you're going to see next. So if you want some great piece of advice, if you want the number one piece of advice I can give you, is have a contest every single week. If you're a pizzeria, we're going to come back to that. Give away a $100 gift card. Give away 4 pizzas every single week. You'll get 4 winners. You get 4 people coming into your business saying, hey, I won. I need my gift card. Boom. Next thing you know, they're using the gift card, buying 2 pizzas. Now you're getting profit. Maybe they've never been to your pizzeria. Now they like your pizzeria. Now they're ordering every week. Now you got a customer. Thank your boy. Yes. And that's organic. You don't have to put a lot of paid ads on these things.
Well, thank you for asking me that question. That means hopefully in some capacity you enjoy the content I create. The advice I try to follow, and I always am rechecking in with myself to make sure I'm following that same advice, is, am I scratching my own itch? And this is advice from Tim Ferriss, someone I really respect. He says, like, what do I think is cool? What would, as a consumer, what would make me, whether it be on Instagram, a podcast, a YouTube video, or anything I create, I try to ask myself, what would make me stop, look at that and say, oh, that's really cool. Like, if I'm following that, if I make content that as a consumer, I think I will really like and enjoy and think is cool, whether that means the message or the style or the way, whatever it is, in following that simple guidelines, I'm trusting that I'm doing the best work I can and that it kind of conveys what I like in a style and a format and a content. But then I'm also basing that off the assumption that there are people out there in the world like me. And so if I just stick to that rather than trying to pander to everybody and try to make content that I think is they will like, which can be a very difficult pursuit to try to make things that you think other people will like. I try to create in line with what I like. And in doing so, again, I trust that people will resonate with that. I trust that I will find people in the internet world that are like me and that we will create this community that is authentic because I am creating from an authentic place. So that is the advice I have for creating content. Scratch your own itch. Make what you think is cool. Make the things that you wish existed and trust that there are people out there like you looking for the same answers, for the same content, for the same styles. Because in pandering or in trying to create content that you think other people will like, you're often kind of just speaking to no one, and it can feel less fulfilling. I've found when I've done that when I try to create content for other people, I can only do that for so long. It's not so fulfilling, and it often doesn't have the results that you think it will.
Everyone needs content. There is such a surge of content, agencies that are being established because there is such a widespread demand for content creation. But what actually are some tips that we can implement in order to create the best content? So number one, I'll start with saying that, as we know, video seems to outperform photography each and every day of the week. So if you can get something that's in video format, that is going to basically convert better and earn more of a trust relationship with the viewer who's watching that piece of content versus just seeing, say maybe a photo of something happening or with a caption overlay over a picture. So choose video if you have the choice. Secondly, you want to make sure that you're being super, personable. It's super important that you're able to connect with who it is that you're trying to go and reach. So, a part of this is a time investment into the content that you're actually putting out. If it's something that you're kind of being rushed to go and throw together, the odds of you being personable and connecting with that end user is probably not going to happen. So, and I would say before you start shooting any content, maybe take, 5, 10, 15 minutes and actually jot down or take time to reflect on what you want that piece of content to actually, say. What message are you trying to get out? What do you want to have happen from someone who comes across and sees and spends time interacting with the content that you've actually put out into the world? So I think if you use these strategies and these tips, that will be instrumental for you going out and creating some great content.
I'm just trying to make it all make sense.
The More You Know podcast.